Hey, good morning, everybody. We're out here on the first tee, March 3rd, 2023, and Steve and I wanted to give you a little update of what's going on golf-wise. As everybody knows, it's been a tough winter for all of us. Golf course has been covered in snow since mid-December, and as you'll see during our walk today, there's still a lot of snow out there. But we wanted to take this opportunity to show you some of the projects we've been working on and update you on what's going on the golf course. As we get near spring, we always try to find time in March, Steve, to top dress and aerify the fairways and overseed and some of those things. And I know that's still on the schedule. Do you see that being a little later this year based on the weather?
I do believe it'll be a little later. We're behind in a lot of ways on the course, getting together. But the top dressing on the fairways is something that really tees us up for the real meat of the season, and it's really essential that we get that done here late March into early April. It probably looks like this year.
Okay, and as we see, we still have all the covers on the greens, and I think that's going to pay dividends this year based on what Mother Nature's provided us. I know we sometimes get the covers off second, third week of March. What are your thoughts this year as we trend towards April?
Well, there again, I believe we're a little behind this year. The ground's still very frozen in the greens, and I would like to keep them down as long as possible to get the full benefit of having the covers on the greens. And so I think we're looking later in the month to get them off. Definitely have them ready for the opening golf season in April.
Yeah, okay, so we're going to target the greens and everything for the April 5th opening, and we'll see what Mother Nature does between now and then. So we're going to go on a bit of a journey today and update some of the projects we've been doing. So here we go. Okay, here we are on number 2. As we touched on in the spring, this was kind of a problem area on the tee box. You know, the path was getting very wide, and in talking with Steve, he kind of put a program together just to tighten it up. And we had unbelievable support of our member, Stuart Cameron, and Stuart had put his design touch on this. And what we've been able to do is just control the traffic, put in new steps, widen it in areas, and it looks really good as we go up the hill. The native will come in. As we all know, Steve is as humble as it gets with everything, and him and his team have been cranking on a lot of stuff this year. And one of the things they've really worked on is these in-ground trash cans. So Steve, can you walk us through what you've done with the bases and how these are going to work?
Well, this has been a real team effort with my guys, and we've developed these stumps, and we've actually put the trash cans down through those so that it has a better aesthetic look out here on the course. They're pretty simple. You can step on them with your left, and you'll be able to drop your trash in with the right. It's going to take care of a lot of different things for us out here. It's going to help our look out here, the profile and it'll also take care of trash blowing out with the winds we get out here, and also the critters that like to get in and get after the trash too. So I think this is going to be a real big improvement on the course.
Yeah, and we have them staggered throughout the golf course, and we'll identify where those spots are every couple holes, and I think it's going to be great as we work through the season. So good job, Steve. Okay, we've made our way down to the 3rd hole, where we've done some bunker repair on the fairway bunkers. So half of them have been replaced with new sand, which is great. Blanketed the areas around it to establish the native grass. And then Steve's got a bunker down here that we're just waiting on to put sand. Steve, can you just walk everybody through real quick what we've done with the drainage and those types of things?
Well, our whole process has been, first of all, the fairway bunkers haven't been touched since the course opened. And so we've had a lot of bunkers where the sand's gotten very contaminated, real dirty looking. The drainage wasn't operating correctly. So what we've done is we've gone out, we've cleaned all the sand out, replaced all the drainage, we re-edged the bunkers back to their original contours. And in some of these areas, we're reestablishing some of the native grasses over these areas where the drought over the last decade has really taken a toll on these areas, particularly with foot traffic or whatever through there. And so part of our process has been now here's a bunker that hasn't got the sand in it. We're taking a different technique with our drainage. We're not using pea gravel anymore. We're using sleeved perforated pipe. And we've already done this in some areas and had great success with it. And it just gives us an opportunity to not have that contamination of that pea gravel in the bunkers. And so here's what one looks like without sand in it compared to what we've done with the new sand. It's not really a white sand, but about as pale as you get in the Colorado area here.
So Steve, when we look at the bunkers, what we've done, this blew me away when you were telling me it, but I think you said that for what we've done on the bunkers, as we enter the spring and at the end of last year when we started, we've got 25 truckloads, semi-trucks worth of sand coming to Colorado Golf Club in the next few weeks.
That's at least. We're probably going to end up with about 30 truckloads just for the bunker sand on the bunkers that we're doing. And then we're going to have another 20 to 25 truckloads of the sand that we use to top dress the fairways with. And they're two separate different sands. And so our trick will be to juggle getting the sand in the bunkers and not getting mixed up and burying ourselves with trucks. And so we're going to have a busy March here, we hope, to get all that squared away and everything in the right spot.
So if you're wondering what's coming in on these semis, we've got about 60 semi worth of truck coming in the next 3 weeks or so with our sand from our sand pit down in Colorado Springs. Thanks. We have been granted behind the scenes access today, which not a lot of people get this opportunity, Steve, to come down to the maintenance shed and take a look. But, I come down here and see you guys every once in a while and see what's going on. And I was just amazed when I came down and saw you last week of what the guys have done most recently with the tees and the tee markers and the water coolers and just the artistic flair your guys have of what they do. So can you walk the members through some of the things they've been working on down here?
Well, I can't emphasize enough that how we've had a very difficult winter productivity-wise, but yet our team has been really good about staying busy. And we've had some really challenging days outside, and we've pushed through those days out on the course with the bunker work, the tree trimming, a lot of things out there, bunker work, like I said, the drainage stuff. We've really pushed through some tough days out there, but on the days when we really can't be out there, we've really been knocking it out inside here with new tee markers, the trash cans, the stumps and things like that. We'll show you here in a minute the new water cooler holders. And the whole team has been very productive all winter long. These are the kind of things that we usually end up being left till the last minute because we're so busy outside. And this year we've done things where we've got this taken care of, where we're ready to move outside as soon as we can.
Well, let's go take a look, Steve, down to some of the water coolers to see what the guys have done. And this gives everybody an idea of what we're doing in the building, what Steve's crew does down here in the building, where we store all the machinery and those types of things. Behind the garage door here that's where the mechanic works and the lift is and all the things to fix the equipment. But Steve's going to touch on the water coolers this year. We're going to have the coolers. We're going to move the one from hole 3 to hole 4. So there's going to be a water cooler on hole 4, behind 7 green, on the 12th tee box, and on the 16th tee box this year. We also have some sand and seed options for the caddies and for the members to refill in areas, but here's a good look at the coolers.
Well, I need to give credit to Dana Tarantelli, one of my first assistants, who really enjoys getting this kind of stuff done and working with wood and creating things. And this is going to be the new look for the water coolers on the course. Some of the things he's done are really, really impressive. But they will be on the stump looking objects out there on the course. And we are, like Graham said, moving to a couple of other locations with him. But and he's got a few things to finish up on these, but this is generally the look of it. He's got 4 of them here going, and he takes a lot of time and pride in what he does, and it really shows.
Justin, real quick, we're going to have these coolers on the golf course in 4, 5, or 6 spots, and they're airtight coolers, and the water won't get into them. And we're actually going to have spots for you to refill your sand and seed this year. So as a member in the caddies, as you're out on the golf course, these will be in low profile spots where you can actually fill your sand and seed tube rather than having to grab another one. Okay, we're down here on hole 5, which is absolutely one of my favorite holes at Colorado Golf Club, with how everything's framed and how everything looks. And this has taken a majority of Steve's time last fall, and as we've gone through the winter, where we've done some bunker work, we've moved some cart path, we've cleaned up the tree up by the green, expanded the 6 tee box, and we're going to get up there to look at all of that. But the main point from the tee box here is when you look out to the bunkers, the farthest left bunker now is in play, it's visual, it's a lot bigger, and Steve's going to kind of walk us through what they've done from a visual standpoint back here on the tee box.
Well, everything you just said there, Graham, and we've not only on this hole, but several holes where we've had some shrubs and bushes that were starting to impede on our sight lines off the tee boxes. These are areas where they've caught some irrigation water and they've just been overgrown from their original sizes when the course was laid out. On 5 here, we've taken those bushes that are just down past where the normal entrance onto the fairway is and taken those back left and made that far bunker. We've expanded its size, opened it up so it's going to be a little more visual from this area here on the tee box. And we've taken that cart path that used to pull out in front of that and removed that and taken it back, where that'll go back to sod and some native grass then around that bunker.
Yeah, so we'll go up there and take a look at it. But on a sunny day here on hole 5, what you'd see is we get a lot of reflection off the cart path from the tee box, and it'll kind of grab your eye. So it's going to be exciting. We'll go up there and look at all the changes Steve has made. So we're down on 5 fairway, where Steve and the crew have basically doubled the size of this left bunker that was a little lost. And when you look over here at the cart path, we used to have cement
Where's your stand?
all the way out to where I'm standing, right, Steve?
Even further.
Even more this way, right?
Yeah.
This was all cement, okay? And that kind of flashed from the tee box. So the cement is all gone. This will all go to native grass. And then the bunker is going to be a little more in play and a little more visual off the tee to give you an idea of what's going on. So Steve, you know, I can tell by looking at it where the bunker used to be. Can you walk us through what we've done here?
Well, yeah. This was kind of a unique bunker in some ways. First of all, what really wasn't visual from the tee before, but it's also one of the few bunkers where the fairway didn't come out to the edge, and where the bunker and the edge were interfacing. And we're planning on bringing the fairway out here to catch this edge. And by doing that, we're going to add rough over here where this cart path used to be. So it'll come in rough here. There's a sprinkler head here. The fairway will actually expand out here and then cut back out. But essentially, the old bunker came right here and cut back over there. We've definitely doubled this. And by doing that, this area here is a lot lower than what this edge used to be, which makes it where visually the sand will really flash up and be more visual from the tee box.
Yeah, and I think, you know, we talk to members and as we go around the club, and everybody always asks us if we talk to Bill Coore or we talk to Ben Crenshaw when we're doing these things, and the answer is absolutely yes. And the fact that we have a living architect or architects right now is just something that is so beneficial. And well, they're still going strong and they're on our speed dials and they text us, and we come out here with the phone just like we're doing with you guys, and we say, hey Bill, this is what we're looking at, this is what we're thinking, and they give us some guidance and you know, their observations of what we're doing, which is really good. And so they're definitely involved in all of the things that we're doing. Real quick, we're just going to turn around. Justin's going to zoom in on some pipes that are in the middle of 5 fairway. Dana's in the video here. He's just taking a look at everything. But these are things that go up in the off season or when things start to melt. And Steve, these are everywhere over the golf course. I know the members don't always see them this time of year, but can you tell people what's going on with these?
Well, we've started this technique a few years ago. In some of these low-lying areas on the fairways where we really don't have great drainage, we've had issues in the past of losing these areas to freezing and thawing, where we've had to resod them, and they're very much in play, and it takes a while to get those to perform the way the rest of the fairway does. And by what we found with these, we've drilled down probably 2 to 3 feet, filled it with pea gravel, and put these pipes up in the air. And the idea was for these pipes to be a conduit of having warmer air down into the soil area. And it seems to, we've had good success with it, and so we've continued it. These are not the same holes as last year. We're continuing making new holes every year. And so we're also making long-term improvements in the drainage of these areas so that we can have firmer, more playable areas even when we have heavy rainfall or big weather events throughout the season.
Okay, great, thank you. You want to bring? All right, we're still on hole 5. As we mentioned a little earlier, this took a lot of our power this year of where we were and what we were doing. We look down in the bunker, we've really trimmed up the trees area where it was getting sort of into your backswing if you were in the back lip of the bunker. So the tree's been trimmed up, which is really nice. The 6 tee boxes at least doubled in size. That's a cover on it, on the back side of it, but that was a really weak transition area for us. It was kind of native, it was dirt. It just didn't look that great, and the tee's getting more and more use, so we've probably doubled the size of the tee, which is awesome. And then this is just a good example of how much snow is still out here on the north-facing slopes. And Steve, it looks like it's been shoveled.
We just shoveled in the last week just to start getting ahead of it, because we do at some point want to uncover these things. And number 5, just having that slight northern tilt really holds its snow. And we've taken down a lot of the trees behind here. The shrubs have gotten overgrown and moved them back a little bit, which will help the health of this greens tremendously in the spring here and all summer long.
What do we have going on behind us, Steve? I see the Bobcats out here and the guys are going. What's happening on 16?
We're installing one of the trash cans back here, the in-ground trash cans. We've got a large auger on the front of our Bobcat. You guys are going down. We can go over and take a look at that operation and see where it's going in.
All right, you take Steve over there.
So putting these in the ground, we have this large auger that we have an attachment on the front of our Bobcat. And what we're doing is we drill down, as the guys have, we remove the soil. They're going to a certain depth, here's the trash cans out of the ground. Have the correct depth. They'll then line the bottom with pea gravel for drainage, so we don't have it sitting in water at any point. And then they'll install these. Well, here's the piece that'll fit on the top, which gets buried about halfway to give us that illusion that this was a former tree there that we've used. Which right now I'm very happy with the way that presentation looks. And we're here on 6 tees. This will be on the left side of the path. Driver's side as you're going down the path.
Okay, our journey's taken us over to hole 13, and during the drive over here, Steve and I were talking. I know we've gone over a lot of things today, but there's still plenty of surprises out there for you guys when you come visit the club this spring as we get out here. This will be the last hole we touch on during this walk around of what we're doing, but we're on 13 tee that used to be just kind of all grass, right? We have the white tee here, we have the forward tee up here. We've now kind of transitioned some stuff. You look this way, back down number 12, you get a really good view of what we've done. We've put in some trees for safety purposes for the people on the tee box, as well as to break up the area of cart path and those types of things. Steve's going to walk us through what he's doing in between the tee boxes here and with the trees.
Well, this was just an area that just didn't seem like it fit with everything else. And so we've taken an opportunity to take that grass out in between. We've matted it and seeded it with the native grass. It also gave us an opportunity to put in more efficient irrigation in these areas. So it just has that better blend of native and maintained grass in the middle of it. The trees that we've moved into this area in between, I believe will help out visually, especially from 12 fairway, kind of tying that larger tree in with these trees closer to the green. And, you know, at some point, maybe helping provide a little bit of safety. There have been opportunities or times when I've seen people on this tee box scattering with a shot dropping in the middle of them. And these trees are been transplanted from other spots on the course where they were getting too big and in sight lines, and we felt like this was an opportunity to save them and move them to a spot where they would be more beneficial to us for long term.
Yeah, some of these trees have come to us from like in front of tee boxes and places like that around teeing areas where they were starting to get intrusive, like Steve said. So we hope you've enjoyed your time with us today and getting a tour about what's going on at the club. We look forward to a great season. As we all know, we have the U.S. Amateur taking place in August, and we're really excited to showcase the club not only to you guys all season, but to the rest of the world in the USGA. So we look forward to a great 2023 season. We're up here on the practice facility where we have a lot of construction going on, and we were talking with Brian, our general manager, and he wanted a quick update of what's going on up on the practice facility with both the racket court facility, as you'll see over here, and then the practice facility building. So the racket courts are going strong over there. We're excited to have tennis and pickleball available for the membership this summer, and it's just non-stop over there with what they're going on and what they're building, and every single day we're pouring concrete and those types of things. Over here is the practice facility building. We had concrete poured yesterday, it looks like, Steve.
Yep,
The day
foundation.
before, foundation's poured and ready to go. We'll come over here and get a pretty good look of what things look like and where we are. Might be hard to hear me with everything going on in the background, but this is going to be the teaching bay in the building here. This first bay is the teaching building. That'll be exclusively for teaching and fitting. And the second bay over here will be the double bay for the members to hit out of and just casually practice throughout the winter. Steve, as we take a look at what's going on, what are your thoughts and what do you see going on?
Well, I think it's easy right now. I don't know if you can see this line of sand. This was the old edge of the green, of the putting green. Come right through this area here. So obviously the putting green's gotten a little smaller. We still have a big putting green to use. We'll have a nice transition in this area. There's a lot going on here as far as last summer or before last season. We moved our main line, which comes right through the middle. Our old main line went right through the middle of this building. We moved that last spring and went around it in anticipation of this building being built. We still have a lot of work to do. We're rerouting the cart path that used to come up. We hope to have something in place before opening day. We'll be going out and around the other side of that big tree now with carts. Some of the things here is as you pan around, and we can see that right now we have some small trees here. These are the kind of trees we've talked about before that we are looking to transplant. That right now those would be in the way of these bays, and those will be gone before people hit here.
I think as Steve said, there's a lot going on here construction-wise. The team's really working hard to get the cart path and everything set for our opening in April. So right now, if you're coming up to hit some golf balls on the days we're open, the mats are still on the practice facility. We just ask you park at the cottage area. That'll give you the best opportunity to get up here to practice and work on it. And as you said, the goal is when we get open in April, that we'll have a temporary cart path in that works around the tree, so members can come up with their carts and enjoy the facility. So that's the update on what's going on with both the practice facility building and the tennis courts and pickleball.